for cancer patient. My doctors actually told me that I would only live for 2 more years and that there was no hope in shrinking my cancer at all. Well, obviously, hearing news like that sent me into a huge depression. But once that dust sort of settled, then I began to explore alternative treatments. And that's when I discovered the power of a keto vegan diet. And so today, I wanted to share with you what my keto vegan diet is and what it looks like on a day-to-day basis, so that hopefully, you would be able to learn from this and use it in your own life, knowing that every cancer is different, but every cancer responds to a diet change. Whether it's you're doing a vegan diet or a keto diet or a keto vegan diet. There's even what's called the SOS diet, which is what Dr. Alan Goldhammer does at his fasting clinic, um, which I don't know enough about to explain, but there's all sorts of diet changes that will give you just like intense results. I feel like the light in here is really bad, so I'm just gonna like open up my blinds a little bit. I haven't gone live before on this YouTube channel, so it's like kind of new for me. That's better. Um, okay, so diet changes is huge, and there was like we've done a lot of trial and error. So when I first got diagnosed, I went strict keto. Okay, I went strict vegan and only plant-based foods. And I wasn't eating any, I didn't know about the keto vegan diet at the time, but I really was doing keto vegan. Um, Maybe not as much fat, but I did like strict keto. And after 90 days, my tumor shrunk by 30%. And if you go to my website at beatcancerwithme.com, um, then I posted my scans there, and you can see the scans. Um, so I talked to Miriam Kalamian, who wrote the book Keto for Cancer. And for those of you that don't know me, like whenever I read a book or watch a YouTube video, I try to find the doctor and try to like learn from them. And Miriam Kalamian consults, so I got a consultation with her, and she was saying that like the reason your tumor shrunk so much in the first 90 days was because you shocked your system. It was like this massive shock to your system, and the tumors responded. And so like part of my recommendation for all cancer patients is like change your diet quickly in the very beginning, and really go to plant-based. Now, then I discovered the value of a keto diet. Okay, for those of you guys that don't know, a keto diet is high in healthy fats like avocados, nuts, and seeds, and very low on carbohydrates, less than 25 carbs a day. I actually probably eat less than 10 carbs a day, and I don't eat any carbs until the evening. And I'm going to share with you my whole schedule. It's a pretty easy schedule, actually. But I'm just trying to like I want to go through kind of like a little bit of the process of like how I got here. So I was like strict keto for 30 days. I got great results, but I was standing right there. I was standing right there when I like cried to my wife, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I'm so weak and I'm so tired, right? So we started to explore the keto diet. And the reason that the keto diet is so amazing is because no cancer can grow on a high fat and when the body is in ketosis. Okay. And what I'm talking about here all comes from Dr. Thomas Seyfried. Okay. So Dr. Thomas Seyfried, in his book, The Metabolic Approach to Cancer, and in all the interviews he does tons of interviews all over the place. And he says this. He says a scientist can't say all. He says, but every cancer cell that we have tested, thousands and thousands, have all responded to the keto diet. So that's a very powerful statement. In fact, we're going to be releasing some of those. We took some screenshots of those. We're going to share them on this channel. So the keto diet, your body is in ketosis, it's burning fat instead of sugar, is awesome. Because even though you're healthy and thriving, your cancer cells are dying, they're starving. Okay, Jane Mcelelland talks about this in her book, How to Starve Cancer. She talks about a low glycemic index diet. Okay, so the keto diet is what I just explained, and then a vegan diet is plant based. The plant based keto diet is the diet that I'm on, and it includes a whole lot of fresh whole foods, and it includes no Coke. I don't drink Diet Coke. I don't drink aspartame. I don't even. There's a lot of like the 0 calorie drinks. I try to eliminate all the chemicals that I eat. And my food should be dead in 2 days. You know what I mean? Like I buy a lot of fresh garden vegetables. By the way, I have a whole guide called the Keto Vegan Starter Guide that you can get. I think if you click the link in my YouTube banner, it goes there. And it will talk to you about like what you can swap out. And so most of what I eat is like fresh vegetable food. And I'm at the grocery store at least twice a week. I will say this. I'm a busy entrepreneur. Um, I own a a business that helps people build YouTube channels. That's I've been doing that for 10 years. So like I know how to build YouTube channels. That's why. So anyway, so you know that's how I know how to do videos. Um, so I work in my house all day, and so leaving to go to the store in the afternoon to buy fresh foods for that night is something I really enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, you may want to use Instacart or one of the delivery services because you should have like fresh vegetables coming in, a couple times a week. The other part of what I eat is keto snacks. So let me show you what like a keto snack is. And I don't eat a lot of these, but I do eat some of these. So here's an example of like keto clusters. These are from Costco. And again, I consider this junk food, but it's still keto. It's actually pretty good for you. Like it's not real junk food. It's actually very healthy junk food. But I say that it's junk food so that I continue to be focused on whole foods. Okay. These are kind of fun foods that help fill the time, but mostly I'm eating um, um, fresh vegetables in a variety of different ways. And we're going to be uploading a bunch of our recipes here on this channel. So, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at becancerwithme.com if you want to see more of that. I make this one salad called avomato salad where I use a whole avocado and then I chop up cherry tomatoes and put some olive oil in that. It's high in fat. It's all plant based. Like it's yummy and it fills you up. Um, and none of that feeds cancer. It doesn't raise your blood sugar at all. Okay. So I eat mostly garden fresh vegetables from the grocery store, mostly organic, but not all organic. Like I think it's impossible to eat all organic because like my store half the time won't even have organic celery. So I gotta have celery though, because celery is a great tool for shoveling peanut butter in, right? Or sunflower butter, which is a high fat, low carbohydrate peanut butter. I also juice celery water a lot. So I don't always buy organic, and I think that that's okay. Like I think that you have to kind of like live your life. You know what I mean? And my overall goal of like showing this to you, this keto vegan diet, is so that you can like live it. Like I believe I'm a very high paced entrepreneur. I've had to de stress my life a lot, but my keto vegan diet is not a sacrifice for me anymore. It's just how I live. And so I could live this way for a long time. Okay. Now, when I did just the keto diet, when I did animal based keto, I got cancer. My cancer cells didn't grow and they didn't shrink. So it was like managed cancer. When I do keto vegan and I fast, I get shrinkage. And my tumors have shrunk in just about every single scan that we've done. Diet's the number one thing because I'm not doing chemo anymore. I did 10 cycles of chemo and I'm like, screw this. I'm not going to do this anymore. Um, and that's pretty much the only medicine that I mean, my food is my medicine. So what does my keto vegan schedule look like? First of all, I'm going to blow your mind here. I do intermittent fasting. Okay. So I stop eating around 8 o'clock at night and I don't eat again until 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So even right now, I am in a fasted state. I have been fasting for, I'm just going to make sure my phone is being charged here. I have been fasting for, it's almost 2 here, like 16 hours, and I feel amazing. So I really love intermittent fasting, and I think you should be intermittent fasting. Like all of these people that beat cancer go on caloric deficits, right? Like the average American is doing like 2,500 to 3,000 calories a day. Cancer patients, people that beat cancer, are doing closer to like 1,000 calories a day, 1,500. So, so intermittent fasting helps reduce your total daily caloric load. Plus, intermittent fasting has so many benefits for you. Autophagy, it gets your body into ketosis. Like, there's so many benefits to intermittent fasting. But also, when I'm fasting, I don't have to be meal planning. So if I'm not eating 2 meals a day, then I don't have to plan for 2 meals a day. And that makes keto vegan easier. So I don't, like at first, when I started intermittent fasting, I was doing 12 hours a day. Okay. And I did very good at that. And then I did 16 hours a day. And wow, 16 hours a day made me feel like a superhero. So then I went up to 18 hours a day and I loved it. And so now I'm at 20 hours a day. I fast 20 hours a day. Now, do you have to fast 20 hours a day? No. But I believe in intermittent fasting and I believe it's part of a keto vegan diet. Okay. So that's what my day looks like. Okay. So I wake up in the morning and I'm in a fasted state. The first thing I do is I drink water to bring my body online. Okay. Then I come into the kitchen and I make myself a cup of decaffeinated coffee. If you like caffeinated coffee, great. Like there, I don't see any cancer benefits. I'm a very high stress person. So like the more caffeine, the more I like stress out and I love it. Like my wife and I, when we'll be like feeling naughty, and it's like, hey, you want to go get some Starbucks, like actual caffeine, and it's like, oh, I love the way it makes me feel. But on a day-to-day basis, no way. Like, so I drink decaffeinated coffee, and you know how some people will make a bulletproof coffee where they'll put butter or MCT oil in their coffee. I actually don't do that. I love the taste of coffee so much that I don't like to drink my coffee as it is. But I take the MCT oil and I take a shot of it. So I actually have a shot glass here that has a measuring cup on it, and I take a shot of MCT oil right when I make my coffee in the morning. The MCT oil gets your body producing ketones faster. Okay. Then I don't eat. So I'll drink coffee and tea during the day. But other than that, I'm not drinking or eating any other calories. Um, I usually break my fast around 4 o'clock. Okay. And so 4 o'clock is when I'll have my first snack. Now there's two things that I'll eat off and on with each other. Number one is my spinach shake. Okay, so keto vegan means high fat, low carb. Vegan means no animal product. I eat almost no animal product during the week. Okay, I do flex on the weekends, and I'm going to get to that in a second. So I do eat more food on the weekends. And this is something that I've learned from my good friend Ben Azadi over at Keto Camp on YouTube. Really, really great stuff. So I break my fast with a spinach shake. And that's like 5 ounces of spinach and kale together. Sometimes it's spinach, sometimes it's spinach and kale, but like spinach and kale, about 5 ounces together with coconut milk. I do take a collagen protein, which is an animal product. That's on doctor's orders because I do want to have collagen protein in my body. And then what else do I have in that shake? Couple of berries like raspberries or blueberries, not a lot, and then like a spoonful of peanut butter, maybe like a spoonful of stevia or erythritol sweetener to make it a little bit sweeter, and that's about it. And I blend that up in my Vitamix, and I'll drink that, and that will actually fill me up for the rest of the day. But I will eat dinner, so that's like one of my break fast meals. The other thing, because I don't feel like drinking that every day. Some days I'm just like, bleh, I don't want to drink that. So the other thing that I'll do is I'll juice, and I'll do like, okay, my juicing recipe is the same every time. It's celery, rainbow chard, ginger, real ginger. I put in the juicer, half a lemon, and then I put chlorophyll. Once I blend all the juices, I put chlorophyll in it, and I mix that up. I might put stevia in it. Depends on if I'm feeling saucy. You know, back before I got cancer, I used to drink beer, and I don't drink any alcohol anymore. Um, I used to like the dark sour beers, you know what I mean? Like really pungent, you know, and so I like my juice to be kind of bitter too sometimes. Um, but I'll make that juice and then eat nuts. And the nuts that I eat are like macadamia nuts. Um, and I will eat pecans. I'll eat all the nuts, okay? Because they all grow in the ground. Oh, but they spray peanuts and they do this. I get it. And like this has this many carbs and that, I get it. But like this many macadamia nuts versus this many cashews is like 4 extra carbs. I'm gonna burn that off just walking my kids home from school, or whatever. So I don't freak out about like the most carb free or whatever. It's like okay, it's like I like cashews, so I eat more cashews and I burn it off in my in my exercising. So okay, so I break the fast with a meal like that. Now there's tons of other foods that you could break your fast with, but I try to like put a base in my belly and get my gut ready for dinner. So for dinner, we try to be done with dinner by 6:30, meaning I've eaten all my food by dinner. Okay. Um, but for dinner, let me show you what I do. It's hard to move the camera around. So I actually do a lot of meal prep. Okay. So let me just kind of show you what I do on the weekends. This is an example of one of my meal preps. So I have in here Brussels sprouts. I have in here spinach, portobello mushroom slices, in a red cabbage. It's very colorful. In a ready, and I have like 5 of these in the fridge. So for dinner, I pop this in on the stove. Put some oil, put some garlic powder in it, or garlic, minced garlic, and then I'll throw in some tofu. Now this is sort of a treat. I don't eat a lot of soy. I just don't think I care for soy too much. But there's a lot of talk about soy and breast cancer and all these different things. But but this is a recipe I got from Chris Beats Cancer, and it's like you basically cut up your tofu, season it, and bake it for a little bit. So I toss that into my scrambles, and I'll have like an excellent meal. After dinner, that's where I might have some crackers and guacamole, for example. Maybe I'll just can I move the camera over to the fridge? Well, I'll just kind of show you like some of the things that I like my basic staples. Um, so I get a ton of these, and these are guacamole packs. They're 100 calories. So the reason I know that they're 100 calories is because I want to know, how much I'm eating on a given day. So I buy a ton of these. What else do I have in here that are just really good? Oh, fantastic! How about this? You can buy these at the grocery store or online. Zero carbohydrate tortillas, zero carbs. It's all dietary fiber, which means you can eat as many of these as you want. You shouldn't. That's a little gluttonous. But like to take these, smear it with these, put some vegetables in it. It's like a miniature. It's like a miniature taco. Um, so I've got a big old bag of spinach in here all the time. So I could make a spinach salad, or I could make another kind of salad. But that's really what I wanted to share with you today is kind of like what that diet looks like. There's a lot of fasting. I drink coffee and tea, and then I have these 2 kind of meals throughout the day. And the commitment is to be done, um, by 7 o'clock. And so then the fasting begins, and I use the Zero Fasting app to track that. Now, exercise, mobility, like I am active, right? So I do 10 minutes of like walking on my treadmill every morning, and that's just to get my brain going. But after my meal, after my big evening meal, then I do a more high intensity workout for about 20 minutes. The goal is to get my heart rate to like 150 for 20 minutes. And that effectively burns off any of the blood sugar that I have. So there's tons of different meals that you could eat in your keto vegan diet, but the key is that you're eating whole nutritious foods that will die. If you don't eat them, they're going to rot. That's what you want to put in your body. You want to have keto snacks like parm chips, and a lot of this is my kids' junk, but like the keto clusters. You want to have some of that. Like, let me show you something that's really good. Um, I have these Kiss My Keto candies, and these are good for like that late night sweet tooth. Like, I never have eaten a whole bag. I've never. This is a whole bag. Never eaten a whole bag. I might have one in the evening or two. Like, I'll take them to the movies if we go to the movies, and also have a lot of these keto bars. On on I have like three different brands in here, and I've always got them, and they're there to snack on. But again, predominantly I'm eating whole foods. I have some keto snacks. I've broken my meals up into like a break fast meal in the late afternoon, and then I have a big meal at the end of the day, and then I start the intermittent fasting thing all over again. And my scans continue to get better. I feel amazing, and I really want to encourage you to adopt a more aggressive anti-cancer diet, right? Like, really commit to the process of a stronger diet. It's been the number one thing that for my cancer. I have thymoma cancer. Let me say, I'm beating thymoma cancer. Um, but it's not just my cancer. I see it with lung cancer. I see it with prostate cancer. Like, I hang out with survivors. I don't hang out in the chemo ward. So I don't know. I don't do chemo. I don't know what those people are eating. But I do know this. I do know that when I got chemo, it was a bunch of very sick looking people getting chemo, eating foods that are destructive but that make you feel good. Fast food, pizza. And I get it. Chemo sucks. So you want to feel good. So you eat pizza doing it. But that is not how you beat cancer. Okay. And I'm very passionate about this. You beat cancer most aggressively through diet change. Your diet change could be different. It might be keto, it might be vegan, it might be keto vegan, it might be SOS. I don't know. But the best results that I had came from going keto right away. Or excuse me, going vegan right away. But I was not getting enough fat to power my brain or my body. So when we added when we added keto to vegan, got rid of animal protein. I only eat animal protein on the weekends from Friday night to Saturday night. That's what we call Shabbat. It means stop. It means day of rest. And that's when I open up my diet. I flex from keto vegan until maybe like normal healthy American. Like, I'll have a piece of pie maybe. But again, I'm a year into my battle, and my tumors are doing very well. So, like, I don't want to tell you to go have pie on the weekends if you're not ready for that. If you're in the very beginning of a phase of your treatment right now, like, you need to adopt a very aggressive keto vegan diet. And then as you start to like heal, as you start to get like consistent tumor reduction, as your energy starts to come back, the color in your face starts to come back, then you can flex a little bit. Add some sweet potato on the weekend. I'll eat rice on the weekend. I'll eat refried beans because Mexican food is mi corazon, right? It's my heart. Like, I love Mexican food. Um, so that's my keto vegan diet. If you guys have any questions, like, please feel free to ask me. Follow me on Instagram. We're blogging our whole journey to remission. It's our goal to see 1 million people beat cancer through metabolic therapy. That means alternative style treatments that focus on diet, lifestyle changes, because cancer is not a disease of your genes. This is very important, guys. Cancer is not because your grandma got cancer. Your genes play a role, but your diet and your lifestyle determine which genes get expressed, right? So it's called epigenetics, and you can get Dr. Ben Lynch's book about it. Just read any cancer expert, right? Like, not a doctor. Your oncologist doesn't know about epigenetics. Ask them. You know, if you want to beat cancer, you have to follow cancer survivors, not a doctor, right? Now, if that doctor is a cancer survivor, that's a different story, right? But I asked my doctor how many people she actually saw beat cancer, and she said none. I said, I'm out of here. Why would I listen to you? You know, I found Dr. Jake, and he's like, oh, I found the Care Oncology Clinic. A ton of my patients are alive still. So that's why that's my thing. Like, follow the cancer survivors. I hope this was valuable to you guys. I'll see you on the next video.